What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of E&MBassin. So, I haven't been fishing a lot lately, and got some things going on at home and whatnot. So, I figured I'd make a special episode. Something I mentioned back in my intro video was I was going to talk about kayaks. Well, here we are. So, I'm just going to jump right into it. And again, if you got any questions, comments, concerns, go ahead, put them below. Hit the like button, and go ahead and subscribe to the channel because there's going to be a lot more kayak videos coming up in the next couple of weeks. Matt and I are going to be going out to Spruce Run Reservoir, and we're going to be doing some fishing there, kayak fishing, so that should be fun. So here we go. All right, so this is my garage slash man cave slash auto area. So got them on some horses here, a kayak, and just gonna do a quick walk around, show you guys what I've done to it, and maybe this will junk some ideas for you, and you guys can let us know how it worked out for you. So here we go. So Lifetime Tamarack Angler Kayak. It is a sit on top kayak. As you can see, I modified it, and I'll get into that in a little bit. You have two different types of kayaks. For those who don't know, there's a sit in and a sit on. So this is a sit on. The difference is basically most of the kayak places you rent from, you'll be in a sit in, so you're sitting pretty low. You got basically a hollow compartment, basically all the way to your feet. And then sit on top or sit on is basically this. It's mainly geared towards fishing, I want to say. Don't quote me on that, but that's what I tend to see a lot more of, is sit on top fishing. And then they also have kayaks where people will actually stand on top of those, and there's some that have paddles and foot controls and so on and so forth. And then, you know, obviously the price range goes up. But this is a Lifetime Tamarack Angler's kayak. I picked it up last year. I believe I paid like $400 for it. I think that's a little over the price of what it's supposed to be, but either way, regardless, I still wanted one. Matt had one, and then I was like, all right, well, I'd like to go out and do some fishing on the kayak with him. So picked this up and I modified the heck out of it. I still am. I think I'm just about done. But anyways, so first things first, you'll see the seat. So this is just your average all ordinary stadium seat from Dick's Sporting Goods that I picked up. And as you can see here, it is, well, it was, but this is how I keep it secure, with the bungees in there like that, and then it just pops right out. So what was here at some point was the original seat. So I read the reviews on this as soon as I picked it up. Some of the complaints were the seat. So the seat and the seat back were, for very long periods of time, being in this thing, especially if you're fishing for 3-4 hours or longer, it's not as comfortable for people. So they recommend getting a seat cushion, getting a stadium seat like I did, and it actually helped out a lot. So that's how I put it. Again, hook it to that guy and then be on your way. And that takes a little bit of manipulating, but ultimately once you're sitting on there, it ain't gonna move around on you, it ain't gonna do much. So okay, ta-da. So so that's the seat. A couple other modifications I made was that guy, and I did that this year. That is my fish finder. So I purchased one this year, and I got the Striker 4 from Garmin, which I've heard nothing but good things about. They say it's very good, quality's good, accuracy as far as the readout goes for the fish is good. And then I picked up this mount from, I believe it's a Scotty mount. and it just hangs like that. And then when I'm done with using it, it just flips right over, and then that's it. Pretty much self-explanatory. And then probably asking, how do I power it? Well, I got myself a rechargeable 12-volt battery, and I'll show you real quick here how I fix this up. So this is one of the lids that goes to the lower compartment, and what I did was I created this tray from, like, you know, for any kind of like soft plastic, worms, lures, anything that you're using, anything that you want to keep in here. You can put your phone in here if you want, whatever. I picked this up on Amazon. That just hangs there with a little clip. But anyways, the mount for the Garmin is actually anchored on or screwed into the tray, which is then in return screwed into the lid to get to the battery. So all I gotta do is take the bungee off of here, pop this guy over, and then here are my cables that I just made it a little bit neater. And then right where the Velcro is where my battery will sit, and the bottom of the battery on the other hand has the Velcro, and then the alligator clips go right to it, and then that's how I power it up. So, and then the remaining wiring, this guy goes all the way down, and then it comes up right through this little hole here with one of the screws. So I figured instead of using all four, I'll just do it that way and hide it, and there you have it. So that's the way I've done it. I mean, there's thousands of videos out there on YouTube, and I'm not gonna lie, I went through about probably 10 of them from different people and just got ideas. And I mean, nothing wrong with that. So that's how I came about getting this on here. Someone actually had it go through here, not the same exact tray or anything, but they had it go right through the tray to the lid and done. So yeah, so that's one of the modifications I did this year. I went ahead and added our sticker to the good old Kayak. So that's that guy right there. The other major modification that I made is this anchor system. So if you're fishing out in a certain spot and you got a lot of current against you, or you're fighting the weather, wind, whatnot, it's always good to have an anchor trolley system, just because you're sitting in there. You don't want to have to worry about fighting the elements. You just want to stay in one spot and fish. So yes, you're going to move around a little bit, but what you could do is you could basically use the anchor as your guide, and then have your kayak face a certain way so you're not constantly turning left and right. So this is the anchor system that I put in. So it's just a set of pulleys. So there's that guy there on one end, comes down. This is your cleat where you could tie it in and it won't move, like I'm trying to move it right now and it's not moving. Then this is where the anchor will hook up to and drop down. And then there's another pulley all the way down there. So it's just a pulley system. So think about, you're sitting in there, you want to move around, the wind's beating you up, but you don't want to fight it, so you got to turn your kayak left or right. So anchor's already attached here. So, and then once you're done, pop it right in. Boom, done. And this thing is not going anywhere. Just be sure to make sure you put good knots on these. I had it already come off on me once, because I'm not gonna lie, I'm not great at like knots and whatnot. So it came off, I guess, because of the water, and it got softer or whatnot. And yeah, so now it's good. So that's it for the kayak modifications. I also have my gearbox, which you'll see a lot of people have. So it's typically placed back here. Actually, that's, you know what, I'll talk about that now that I'm here looking at it. So my milk crate, it's a milk crate that I modified and cut 2 milk crates into one. I'll show you that in a minute. And it basically goes right here. And I have carabiner hooks that hook right up to these guys right here. And they keep it in place. So when I'm out in the water, I don't got to worry about it actually tipping over, falling over, or anything like that. It's just one less worry. And then underneath all this mess that I have in my garage, I will show you my stuff. Oh, that's a Kayak Cart right there. I picked it up on Amazon. Heard nothing but good things about it. Haven't used it yet. I'm gonna use it this year. And go from there. So here is another item I purchased this year. This is a bungee paddle leash. I also got this on Amazon. I forget how much it was. But think about fishing. Think about when you hook a fish, your mind now becomes more on setting the hook, reeling it in, grabbing it. I mean, you're in a kayak. You're not on the bank. You're not on a bass boat. You know, it's a little bit tight. Things can get a little, you know, slippery, whatnot. I mean, it's just one less thing you worry about losing. So you put this on, you put it on your paddle, you don't gotta worry about losing it. So I'm gonna use that this year. Man, I gotta clean up. This is my roof rack. It's the handy pump. I got this also from Amazon, and that has been a lifesaver. Okay, so finally, to the milk crate. So, yes, that is 2 milk crates put into one. So, what I did was, I took one milk crate, bottom, and I took the bottom of the second milk crate and cut it to use it as a lid. So, before I got my backpack tackle bag, I actually had a tackle box. And I would throw that guy right on here and basically have this strapped over it or on top of it while I was out in the water, so I wouldn't worry about that going anywhere. Now for the lid, I put, you can see that, put 3, 4 tie wraps, just drilled some holes in them. And that acts as almost like a hinge for my lid. So it's just easy. So here's my PFD with pockets and whatnot. That's another thing, safety guys. So when you're out in that water, I recommend at least have your PFD on. You never know when you're gonna need it. So just have it with you. I got that. I got a good old dry bag that was gifted to me. So in the event, if I ever do flip or take on water for any reason, anything that goes in there is gonna stay nice and dry. For how long, I wish I could tell you. I don't know, and I don't want to find out. So, yeah. Here are my Tiedowns for the kayak when I'm transporting it. So, the handy rack pump has its own, but I like to go front and back when I'm, driving around with the kayak on the car. So for those who do not have, an SUV or a truck, you can get the handy pump or handy rack or something like that's inflatable with air, goes through the car. You'll strap it down that way, and then if you want added security, you go from the front to the back with these clamps, or any kind of rope works, but you'll be in good shape. So I got these guys. I got my fishing net. So it's a foldable fishing net, fairly inexpensive, and again, it folds away in there. And I just throw this in one of the holes, or I just leave it laying by my leg when I'm out in the water in case I get a fish that I need, some assistance. Here's my assistance, because I ain't got Matt next to me or anybody else next to me that I'm going with to give me a hand on a catch or anything, so this is your buddy. Extra fishing pole holder. Ooh, yeah, scupper plugs. So, real quick, let me show you these guys. So, this kayak has holes in them, scupper plugs, right? There are 2 underneath the seat. There's 2 here, and I believe there are 2 more back there. So, picture you're out in the water. I don't know, you're getting some waves in. Next thing you know, you're starting to get a wetness on your butt. Well, I'm sure you didn't have an accident. I mean, I don't know, maybe you did. But more than likely, you didn't. So, you're probably taking on a little bit of water. Nothing to worry about, but it's just the nature of the kayak. So, scupper plugs keep that out. So, if you are going to look to investing into a kayak, it may be a good idea to see how many plugs you're going to need. If you even want to go that route, or if you just want to test it out and see what I'm talking about. And then you're going to be like, hey, Eric, thanks for the video and the advice, because it happened to me. I didn't listen, and now I'm going to listen. So, yeah. So, word of advice, don't get wet. And last but not least, here is my anchor. And they sell a ton of these on Amazon. So real quick. So this is, I forget how many pounds this is. 1.5 pounds right there, it tells you. But anyways, so hook end goes into that ring on the kayak that I showed you on the pulley system. The buoy stays up top, obviously in the top of the water there. This guy drops down like so. That locks in. And basically just goes down to the bottom, and it'll either sink in depending on if you're drifting off or you're getting pulled off or whatever, or it'll sit there and act as a weight and keep you in place. And then you just close it up, package it up, and go. Be on your way. And that is really it as far as the kayak review goes. I've been on this thing since last year. I want to say maybe like 5 times. And every time I'm out there, I'm thinking about putting on the fish finder or getting one. And then this year I finally, pulled the trigger and got it. So, go out there, see what you got. See what you're working with. Modify that way. Basically, it's always based on your needs. So if you feel like you need to add a trolley system, like that paddle back there. That's just an emergency paddle. Do I take it with me every time? No. But if it's like a windy day, nasty day, I mean, why not? I didn't have the paddle leashes until this year, and I haven't used them yet. So before that, that's what I got. That was my saving grace, because if I lose these paddles, then at least I got a backup. So yeah. So guys, that's really it as far as the kayak goes. It's a Lifetime Tamarack Angler kayak, like I said before. Nothing but good things. Made my modifications based on what I'm going to use it for. And I have no complaints. Everything works. Everything's functional for me. I'm 5'6", I'm not a big guy. So, take that into account too. Depending on which kayak you're getting, there's different sizes out there. And like I said earlier, you got ones that you could stand on top, you could just pedal. You don't even need paddles for it. You could just use your feet. It's convenient. So, yeah, have fun. If you got any questions, if you got any, comments on this, just let me know. Drop them down. Got any questions on where I got the stuff, why I got the stuff? Yeah, feel free. That's really it. So, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And please like or dislike the video. I mean, let me know if you want to see more of this. I'm going to add this to the kayak playlist. And future videos, you'll be seeing me and Matt in our kayaks out there in the water. And hopefully catching some really big bass. So, until then, see you guys next time.